Hey, this is René, welcome back to another video on this channel, and today I want to make another EA review, and we will have a look at the Bonita EA, which is currently or for a longer time at the top charts for MetaTrader 5 and MetaTrader 4. So if you are in the MQL5 market, like on the first page, these are the expert advisor that are viewed the most often, I think. So this is really relevant for a lot of people, and you can see the price is even really crazy. It is listed at $5,000 and this is like the real price, and the developer or publisher, he also plans to increase the price. So watch this video till the end to figure out if the expert advisor is worth the money and what this expert advisor is about. Also, if you like the content, make sure to subscribe and like. Yeah, so you will see more of this content and other people will also. So when we have a look at the new expert advisor, the best way to start or the first thing to do is to read the MQL5 market entry description. So here we can see, yeah, as we already figured out, he is planning to increase the price, but I realized that this is written in a lot of descriptions for expert advisor, and I think this is sort of a marketing tool that people use to pretty much create a limitation for their programs. We will have to check if the price really rises to 20,000 to see if this was not just a marketing move. So he says pretty much that it is a pending position strategy, and there are some secret components, but also he says he uses custom indicators, trend lines, and support and resistance levels, price action. This is something which will be really hard to figure out in the backtest, because if there are no visual components in the chart and if everything is really like secret, it will be hard for me to figure out how this strategy works. But like overall, we can still check if it is a martingale or grid system or something like this. So we will still learn something in this video. So he says that he traded this on a live trading account, and that you should only trade expert advisor that are tested for a longer period and that you believe are good, pretty much. This is something that I can, I would say the same. So you should make your own analysis before you trade the expert advisor, and you should figure out if it is or if it could work, especially for expert advisor like these. So he doesn't seem to like publish his strategy, and whenever you have an expert advisor like this, you have to be like really you should watch out, because there might be some code that you do not like, and if you do not have access to the code, and if there's no like complete description of the strategy, you are always trading something like a black box. So you should be you should watch out for the trading. So then he says he has some signals here. We can have a look at this, and there is his signal. What I think is important about the signal is, like, in the beginning you see this really extreme increase in the balance or equity or whatever curve this is, and this is usually not really what you want to see, because it will boost the overall percentage like in a extreme way, because this might be like the first month or days they might be traded or they can be created if you just trade with a really big risk in the beginning, and you can do this on 10 accounts. 9 of them go bankrupt and only 1 succeeds, and then you use this account for your signal. I mean, this is a trick that you could use. I'm not sure if he did this here, but whenever you see like a really big performance boost in the first days of a signal, this usually means that it might be manipulated. No, I do not want to say that it is the case here, but I just want to give you some hints what you should look for. Then also we see there is like this floating profit here, which means that we can see it here in the equity. The profit is not as big as it says here. So it's not 820%, because this is, I think, only the balance. And you will have to look at the equity also. Because if we would close all the positions right now, we would generate a loss of around 2,000 USD. And this is, of course, not displayed in the balance, but you can see it in the equity. So we can also already know that this strategy works with a lot of positions and they are kept for a longer period. For example, you can see here, this means pretty much that he has some positions open for over 2 or 3 months. I mean, we will have a look at the system, but this is just what we see from these curves here. Also, you can see the performance here in month, and this is what I tried to explain before. The first month show this like really crazy performances, and yeah, this might be manipulated, but could also be true. We see other months that have a really big profit, which means that it might be just a result from the strategy, but we will have to look into this. And also the reliability is not like, it's not a 5-star rating here, it's more 3 or 5, which is in the, it's average, I would say. So, yeah, the last thing we can do is to read some of the, some more of this description here. He says that we should trade it on Euro, US dollar and GBP USD. I think I will just go with Euro, US dollar. I will not like test 10 markets and optimize it. I will just have a look at this one market to check if it works in this market or how it works. I mean, I will not optimize it. Sets are provided. This is probably only after purchasing the program, so I will not get the set file here, but I will use the default settings and maybe we can learn something from this already. Yes, so this is it pretty much. So let's have a look at the MT4 version. This is the MT5 version, and if we have a look at the MT4 version, which is also in the MQL5 market, this is really interesting. First of all, we can see like there are 3,000, nearly 4,000 total demo downloads, which is quite a lot because he only published this for a little bit over 1 year, and the MT5 version is even younger. So these are quite a lot of downloads, and this is probably why it is ranking on the first page in the market. Also, we can see there are several reviews, and what we see here is there are 10 purchases per month. And these are the actual purchases. So we do not know if the buyer gave it back, but he at least made 50K with the system. So I hope that it is worth the money because people really paid for this. Also, we should have a look at the review. For the MT5 version, there were 2 reviews which were, I think, deleted by the publisher of the Bonita EA. We do not really know what these comments said, or these reviews. For the MT4 version, we have some good reviews, and there's also 1 review that was deleted, I think. But yeah, overall, this is what the MQL5 page says. So let's jump to the MetaTrader 5. And in the MetaTrader 5, as always, you can click View Navigator to open the navigator. And in the navigator, you can click on Experts, and there you can test any EA in the MT5 market for free in the demo. And this is what I would recommend before buying anything. You should test it in the demo, make several backtests over several years, have a look at single trades, check if the strategy could work in a live trading account, because there might be a big difference if you compare testing to live trading. There is no real slippage in testing, so you will have to test this in a live trading account. So you can click on Download Demo here once you found the program in the tester, and this is it. So now you can see in my navigator it is visible here, and I can drag and drop it to any chart. I cannot activate it in the demo or live trading chart because this is a demo version, but I can click on Test here, and this will automatically open the strategy tester for me. And you can see now in the strategy tester we can make this visualize test with the Bonita EA for MetaTrader 5. So I will go, as I said, with Euro US dollar. We can test, for example, first of all, starting in 2020, so I do not have to load too much data. What else can we see on this page here? He said we should trade in the 1 hour chart. So this is what I will do. And now let's have a look at the inputs. There are several inputs. Let's see if we can learn something about the system already. So the first is, the first inputs are really easy to understand. This is just if you want to trade with a fixed lot size, or if you want to have like the auto lot version, which is, I think, 0.01 lots per 1,000 euro in your account. And this is really common for a lot of expert advisors. This is nothing special. It is a mechanism to increase the lot size when the equity or balance increases. And yeah, this is what it does. Then we have the maximum amount of currencies. I think that this expert advisor trades multiple currencies, and it's a multi-currency EA. We will see this later on when we start the test. This is probably how many currencies we want to open at the same time. Then we have conservative true, pretty much, I mean, like just from the name of this variable, we can assume that this is like a conservative trading approach. And if we say false, it's probably a risky approach, but we can just keep the basic, default settings here. Instant open, there's false and true. False pretty much means, I think, that we will trade with pending orders. And this makes sense because he said in his description that this uses a pending position strategy. So I think I will just keep it as it is here. Then we have a take profit, 1%. This might be related to the account currency or to the price of the symbol that we trade. I believe at this point that it is the currency of the account. Then we have a take profit in US dollar and a stop loss in US dollar. We can, I believe that we are able to choose the take profit in dollar if we do not want the take profit in percent. So I believe if we add some value here, it will override this. So we will use the take profit in dollar instead of the percentage. Also, we have this stop loss in USD. This is set to 0, which usually means if you have an expert advisor where the stop loss setting is set to 0, it usually means that you do not place a stop loss. So this is what we will see later on. Then we have take profit P and stop loss P. I believe this means points. So we could choose between take profit in percent, take profit in USD, and take profit in points. It doesn't make a difference in the end. In the end, it's just a mechanism of calculating the take profit. But this is nothing, there's nothing I can really explain about this. So it is just how you want to define your take profits. And I believe in the long run, it doesn't really make a huge difference. The strategy itself will stay the same, whatever we type in here. Then we have enable trailing. This is probably a trailing stop. The default setting is false. So I will just leave it as it is. And I believe he also uses these false settings, because if we have a look at the signal again, and this is what I think is really interesting, like this really big drawdown that he's facing right now, this usually appears if you do not use any stop loss or trailing stop. So let's keep the default settings here. Then we have a magic number. This is again the same concept with every expert advisor. You can provide a magic number for your trades. So if you have multiple expert advisor open in your account, and maybe your account, your MetaTrader crashes or your PC crashes and you have to restart, this is usually the number that the expert advisor use to find their own trades and to manage them. So this is something you will find in pretty much every expert advisor, or you should find. Then you have the max monthly profit. This is set to 0, which means I think there's no monthly cap, and you could say, for example, 10%, I think, and it would stop trading at 10%. So you have the info panel. This is just the information in the chart, I think. So we will leave this to true. And there we can trade weekdays, and we have a weekday filter, which is on default not used. Then we have a expert advisor comment for the trades, I think. Then we have a news filter, and this is really interesting because you cannot really use news filters in the tester. The only way is that he hard-coded them in the source code, I think, but this is not something we can expect. So we will not see the real results in the tester anyways, I believe, because we cannot really use the news filter. But like in the end, I will explain everything here. So the news filter can be turned on or off, and you can filter for low, middle, and high news, like the important news only, or also like the not important news. And then we can, I believe we can wait 10 minutes before and 30 minutes after. And in this period, we will not trade. This is like would be like a really common news filter. And and there's also a difference for like medium and low importance news and high news. For the high news, we have a longer period before and after where we like do not trade. I believe it works like this. I cannot be 100% sure for the news filter, but yeah, this is what you usually do in an EA. So then we have only symbol news. Like if we only listen to the news for the current symbol that we want to trade, or for all news. And then we check these currencies for the news filter. Then we have auto time zone. We have a time zone. This is pretty much, I believe, for the news filter. Oh, and this is really interesting. He says he has several URLs here. And this is probably, if we have a look at one of the URLs, I believe this is a URL where he takes the news from. So if we have a look here, just post this URL here. Yes, this is investing.com. So he will have some code in his program to read this web page and to read the news from here. This is something that I did before in EAs also. It works, and you can have access to the actual news. And this is something you will have to do in MetaTrader 4 especially, because in MetaTrader 5 you can just access the built-in calendar, but in MetaTrader 4 you will have to use external news pages like this. But yeah, this is the news filter. So what did we learn from the settings? I talked a little bit too much, I think, but we learned that we have the option to scale the lot size with a increasing account value. We can define how many currencies we trade. We have several options to define the take profit, and we could use a stop loss, but this is not done here. And we have a conservative and risky approach, I think. And we can choose to add to place pending orders or market positions to open the trades. This is it. And we can use the trailing stop. And the rest is just news filter. So let's give this problem a quick run and see how it looks in the strategy tester, and if we are able to learn more about this strategy. So starting here, the strategy tester. And again, you can do this on your own PC, and I would always encourage you to do so. Like test some different EAs from the market. You can also test my EAs, and you will see how these programs work. And maybe you can use it for your own system development, or maybe you like the EA and you want to buy it. But you should always test it first. And this tester takes a lot of time to load here. Let's wait some more seconds. There it is. So in the upper left corner, we have a Bonita EA control panel. It gives us some information, how many positions and orders we currently have. And we already have, we already see orders here. We have a lot of pending orders. And what we can see here is that, let me zoom in a little bit, that directly in the beginning, a lot of pending orders were placed. And I assume that he trades some of the support and resistance levels he was talking about. Probably like this level, because there is some kind of sideways movement. Also, what is really interesting is that he somehow, I think he modified the chart so that the background is white, and a lot of candles are also completely white. So if I move here with my cursor, you can see like in the data window, these candles are still there in the background, but they are made white. So let's have a look at this. Charts, properties, and we can see that the colors are turned to white. And this is really interesting. I mean, we could just change this to red, like this, and the candles appear again. So this is he just changed the appearance of the candles. And this is no magic or something like this. So he just changed the appearance of the candles to give it a different look. I don't know why he did this, probably because he wants to have some secrets here, but I don't know. So this is what we can see here. And also this is why the current price is somewhere in the middle of nowhere here. There are no, or it looks like there are no candles, but of course these are just the white candles. And I think all the negative candles are white here right now. So this is really interesting. Only the long, like the positive candles have a color, and this is blue. Okay, so this is what we learned here already. Also, yeah, we see a lot of trades here, a lot of pending orders. So this is really interesting. These are placed. I assume that he uses like some support and resistance mechanism in his code. We will not be able to figure out what algorithm he uses exactly. Probably he just counts the bars or the amount of the period, how long these bars are at the specific level, and then he places the orders there. This is what I assume right now, but I cannot be sure about this. And yeah, we see like everything here in the Bonita EA control window. And if I speed this up a little bit, we can see some of these orders were now executed. Oh, and the sell orders are like above the current market price or placed above the current market price, and the buy orders below the current market price. This is usually when you have some kind of support and resistance level where you think that the price would bounce from these levels. And now let's wait until we see more trades or until these trades are opened. So right now we just saw that a lot of these sell limit orders were activated. And also we can see that sell limit, sell stop. Oh no, we only see sell orders. So we see sell limit orders above the price and sell stop orders below the price. This is really interesting. But didn't we see buy orders before? No, there are only sell orders. So I believe this program also uses some kind of mechanism to define a trend. And all this is again based on support and resistance levels, and he kind of assumes that the price should fall in the next days or so. So you can see there are always more pending orders placed, and at some point the price of these orders changes. So when the market price changes, the price of these orders sometimes changes. Okay, I believe like it is based on a distance to the current market price, but when the price is moving once per bar, these orders are placed at a new level probably. This would be something that makes sense to me. But no, it is not once per bar. Maybe there is some other trigger for the EA to change these pending orders. Yeah, but you can see like right now, did we close the trades already? Let's have a look here. So we can see the graph here, and we can see a lot of trades were closed here. And we made a profit of 1.7%, which is more than the take profit that we set in the settings. This is surprising me a little bit, but maybe he just closes all the positions at this point. We will have to figure this out. Operations, history. So you can see here, these are the trades that were used to close the positions, and you can see all of these trades were closed at the same time. So he just seems to build a lot of trades, and then if the EA hits a specific profit target, like the one you define in the settings, all of these trades are closed. And then new trades are opened. And this happens if some of the pending orders are hit. So let's wait until, and I believe it will always go like this until we see a big drawdown, and then it will be interesting to see how the strategy changes. So right now we can see that pretty much the EA opens positions. Oh, there are no positions right now. So I believe that there were some indicators in the background that we do not see, unfortunately, that said that it was not a good time to trade. Maybe just a time filter. But yeah, he uses a lot of positions. And here we can see we still open sell positions. And when the price is not going into the direction that we want it to go, we will just open more positions, I believe. And also if the price goes into the direction that we want it to go, we also open positions with these sell stop orders. So this is really interesting. So this is no classical grid, but in the end it's still a grid system, of course, because we are opening we open positions in some distance when the price is moving against us, and there everything was closed again. So this is pretty much what I can see here. Unfortunately, I will not be able to explain you the strategy, like the real strategy, because I do not see any indicators or something like this. I can just work with what I have here, but we can see, yeah, we still only open sell positions, and I'm curious if we will ever see buy positions. If we will never see buy positions, I mean, it would be beneficial for the euro-US dollar trading, because like in the last years, the euro-US dollar dropped extremely in value. Like it is right now, it is around the 1 euro-US dollar like price. So if we only have sell trades, then we would of course have a really good system. Yeah, but here what we can see from the account balance or equity, we can see, of course, we always make profits. This is typical for these grid systems, and we also increase the lot size, so it's also a martingale system in the end. And what we would have to watch out for is for longer drawdown periods, because this is something that is interesting, but right now this is nothing really surprising, because if you build a grid system or a martingale system, of course you will always make profits if everything is going well. So yeah, you have to wait for these big drawdown periods to really see like some problems. And here we still only open sell trades. This could be a longer drawdown period, I hope, so we can see how the program reacts. Oh, and this is really interesting. We are in a longer drawdown period here, but we do not open more positions. So it seems like there is a maximum of 20 sell positions. And if these 20 sell positions are reached, we do not open more positions. So let's see if we can find this somewhere in the settings, like the limit of open positions. But I do not think we will find it. So it looks like this is hard-coded in the source code, but he has some kind of limit here. And I think if the price would keep on increasing, then we would never really close these positions, because we are just waiting for the take profit. But here we hit the take profit, so even if we had a longer drawdown, which you can see here, which was around 20% already, we still hit the take profit, so everything is going well. But if these drawdown periods increase, if the price would keep on rising for too long, we would just crash the account. And this is for every grid martingale system. It's always the same. You increase the positions if it's not going in your in the direction you want it to go, and then at some point you will have this margin call event, and all the positions are closed. But until this point, everything looks really good. And again, this is not, I do not want to bash any martingale or grid system. You can do this. It's completely okay. But please, if you do it with money that you can afford to lose. It is a great way to achieve exponential profits, but it's still a crazy risk that you take, and you have to be aware of this risk. Everyone can do this. Everyone should do it if you want to make big profits, but everyone has to be aware of the risks on the other hand. And yeah, I think I will just let this program work for some more time. It's really slow, so I will make a cut here and I will come back to you later on. There are some things I still want to figure out. First one is what happens if there's a really big drawdown. Second thing is, do we ever see buy trades? And yeah, these are the main things. So I will get back to you later. Okay, quick break here. The test is going really slow, which means that the EA is doing a lot of work. And this is not good, not bad, but it's just annoying for testing. But we can see that something changes. We are now opening buy positions. And you can see here, yeah, we open buy positions now. Like for this period, you can see we only opened sell position. Here we opened buy position for the first time, and then I think we opened sell positions only again, and now we are again opening buy positions. So it's not like it is only trading sell positions, which is good, because this would be just not really reliable if you would only open sell positions, because this would only work in a sell trend, but not in a buy trend. And in a buy trend, you would lose all your money. So there is some kind of mechanism to identify different trading levels. Probably we trade buy positions because we hit some support level. But again, this is something I will not be able to figure out completely, because he doesn't want he doesn't want to publish his strategy like to this degree. So I will not be able to figure it out. But he has some mechanism to figure out if he wants to trade buy or sell positions, and this is a good thing. Also, we can see like the volume is now increasing because the account balance is increasing, and this is what we set that we want to trade like this. But yeah, this is going really good, but we are always risking like a lot. So I really want to see a longer drawdown period, because it will be really bad for the system really soon. Really fast if this happens. So let's wait for this drawdown period and see if we will see such a drawdown period. But still, the profit is great until now. This is a system that, even though this is the tester, I believe it is not like super sensible to slippage, because we do not have a SL and TP in the market, so it doesn't really matter if we see some slippage for the position opening. It will just take a longer period of time to hit the take profit, but this is not like highly dependent on the perfect order execution, which is a good thing, I would say. So these results, even though they are really good, they are not completely unrealistic in a live trading scenario, I would say. And what we will have to figure out is, will we see such a big drawdown period? And at some point, it's guaranteed that you will see such a big drawdown. Trust me, it is guaranteed. It will happen. It is just a mathematical calculation, and this is a game of probabilities and stuff like this. And there is always a chance for strategies like this to crash your account. But the question is, how big is the risk compared to the reward that you can get in for trading this strategy? So I will just let this test go on for a while, but no, I think I will stop it here, since I think we do not learn more about the strategy here. We open a maximum of 20 positions. This seems to be always the same, and then we open when we make a take profit of 1%, and yeah, this is what we can see. So I think we do not learn more if we look at the visual test here. So I will just go and run a single backtest without the visual mode. So this should be a lot faster, because I just saw in the lower right corner it says that the test would take 7 hours or so in the visual mode. So I will go with the not visual mode here and see if this is going faster. So anyways, I will wait until this test is finished, or until it is crashed, what happens first, and then I will get back to you. So I'm back, and the test is still running. It is crazy how slow this expert advisor is in the backtest. And it is already running for 2 hours now. It says that it will run for another 5 or 6 hours, and I do not want to let my PC work for such a long time. I have to do something else. So let's wrap this up. I figured out some more things. So sometimes there are no changes in the balance or equity curve for a really long time. And I believe that it is really like I tried to explain before. The program opens a specific amount of trades, for example, 20 in a market, and then it just waits until the 1% are hit. And this can take a month, a year, whatever. So I believe this is why we can see it here in his signal that he's providing here. You can see like the equity is way below the balance, and I assume this is I mean, the balance is still rising, and I think he is just trading multiple currency pairs here, for example, 2 or 3. So one of them seems to be stuck here in a really big drawdown, and the rest is still doing fine. So this is why the balance is still increasing and the equity is dropping like crazy here. And I mean, it is an interesting strategy, and it might go well for a really long time, maybe 10 years if you're really lucky. And I believe this can create great results. Still, it is of course super risky, and I'm not really sure why the returns are so small on his signal here. Maybe he's not using the increased lot size, or he's trading with a lot less risk here, because in the tester for this for a period as long as this, which is nearly 1 year, it looks really good. This is something you would have to figure out, but again, the test is so slow, I can't really work here. These are my thoughts on this strategy so far. Okay, so I'm back one more time. This is another test that I made when I already edited the video. Because the publisher of this EA said that he made a huge profit from 2020 up to May 21. This is exactly the period that I tested before, so it doesn't really make sense to test a period that the publisher already tested, because in this period it will most likely not crash. But I just want to show you one more time like the risk that you are taking with this program. For example, I tested now starting in 2018, so it's a different period, and here you can see, like in the beginning, we built up all our positions already. In this case, these are buy positions, so we have 20 buy positions open right now, and you can see here they are all open. They are all, of course, in the negative area right now because the price is falling, and you can see the drawdown is 20% of the account already. So if we say the average price is around here, so if we fall down for like 5 times this range, like for around here, this would be the stop out level where the broker would close all of our positions. And this event may happen, it may not. This is pretty much at this point, I believe it's up to luck pretty much, because you cannot really predict the price movement to such a precision. This is my personal opinion. So there might be situations where you face a complete crash with this system, but yeah, this can happen. This does not have to happen. So it would be super interesting to have someone in the comments who bought this product or who tested it for a longer period to give some more information on it. And yeah, this would be really interesting to see how the program works and so on and so on. Oh, and one more thing, what I just figured out is in the test, you can see like in this sub window here, you can see the deposit load. This is pretty much the percentage, I think, of margin that is reserved for your trades. So if this value increases, you just trade more lots. And in the end, this value is decreasing. And I think this might be because at this point where the test generated such a big profit, it's probably that the position size cannot be increased anymore because there's a limit for most brokers with a maximum position size, and as soon as you reach this, you cannot go above. This is why the deposit load is decreasing, because positions cannot be any bigger, but the account value is still rising, so the percentage of the position load here is decreasing. Yeah, and you can see like for a really long time nothing changed for this equity or balance curve, so I think we are in a really big drawdown, but unfortunately you cannot see a lot in the strategy tester for this, and the test is so slow. I will stop it here. But yeah, interesting system. Maybe I will work out something like this on this channel, or just like I will try to build something like this, just a martingale grid system, which at some point just waits until the profit target is hit. This is something that you can try. So let me know if you want to see more about this. And again, if somebody bought this or has more experience with this EA, I would love to hear about it in the comment section below. And this is it for the Bonita EA. Thanks for watching. Have a great time. Bye bye.